Hey there. Yes, you watching the video. From wherever you are, on your couch standing somewhere or on the International Space Station orbiting the Earth. Hey there. Have you ever thought that the couch you are sitting on or the ground you are standing on is on the Earth, which is somewhere around the Sun, which is somewhere around the black hole in the center of the Milky Way, which is indeed somewhere in the universe and is moving towards the Andromeda Galaxy to collide one day? I think you haven't.
And our goal is not enough.
The universe is big and we are not even a tiny bit compared to it. In fact, the universe is so big we can't even imagine its diversity. It's filled with beauty, from super bright stars to total darkness of the black holes. When we think of space, we might probably think of beautiful nebulae and galaxies shining with vivid colors, stars of different sizes and much more. The answer is no. It's not. In reality, it's the worst place for anything. It has everything to kill you, from micro-meteorites passing at speeds faster than bullets and huge stars emitting highly dangerous radiation and solar winds. It's enough to kill you, but if it's not enough, black holes for sure will do the work. But why is the universe like this? Why it's like the way it is? To know the answer, we have to go back in time. So back that there's no more time to go behind. And by back, I mean really back. In short, when the universe was forming, by the use of satellites and infrared telescopes in space, we found that the universe is almost 13.8 billion years old. It's still not clear how the universe actually formed, but the most famous and prevailing theory is that it formed when matter eliminated all the antimatter, releasing a massive, supermassive amount of energy and creating the explosion that created the universe. This theory is now called the Big Bang. The explosion was so fast that it expanded faster than the speed of light. Yes, faster than the speed of light. And it was the boom that created the universe. But wait. It does not look like the universe. In fact, it's still super hot and it needs to cool down. And it cooled a little. Cooled a little. Cooled a little. And finally it cooled enough that the four fundamental forces separated. And finally it cooled enough that quarks formed, and then they combined to form protons and neutrons and finally atoms. And then the first stars formed after millions of years. Others copied him too. Then they came together to form the first galaxies. Then the old stars died with passion, creating new heavier elements like iron, sodium, calcium, carbon and others. Then some stars died, but their cores collapsed and formed neutron stars, only kilometers in diameter. These things have the strongest magnetic fields, and as the name suggests, it's purely made of neutrons. It's the second densest object in the universe. Then after billions of years, or 4.5 billion years before from now, our Sun formed from a huge disk of gas and other stuff. When the Sun finally formed, it pushed away all the excess material a little. This left over was the material that later formed the planets like the Earth or the Jupiter. Then after billions of years the Earth cooled and formed a solid crust, but then a theoretical planet, namely Theia, collided with our planet Earth and lifted away tons and tons of material from the surface. This collision again covered the air crust with molten rocks, and all the material that flew away from the collision formed a ring around the Earth. Maybe this material then came together to form our moon. Then after, the Earth once again cooled, but now with a new companion, the moon. The moon highly controlled the Earth's axis and made our Earth's rotation stable. But it was still dry. No water was on this newly formed Earth. Then from where did the water came from? Scientists predict all the water on Earth came from the comets that hit the Earth during its formation. This period of comets raining from the space is called the Late Heavy Bombardment. It filled the Earth's ocean with water, and then someday, we don't actually know when, but a tiny microorganisms originated in the ocean that lived in the great depth of the ocean, feeding on hot volcanic soup served by the volcanic vents deep in the ocean. But it was alone. So it divided and created many like him. Then they also divided. Then some of them decided to eat others. And they are predators now. Then one day a single microorganism ate another smaller microorganism but decided not to digest it. Instead, that microorganism decided to shut down all its function and focus on energy production for the cell that ate him. That cell was good. Then others also copied him. But one thought it good to be vegetarian. So it evolved to use sunlight as a source of energy. Then they evolved to live in groups and form the first multicellular life. Like the dinosaurs. Boom. And the dinosaurs are now dead due to a huge asteroid impact. But some life survived. Now mammals rule the earth. Some of them evolved into apes. Then the apes evolved into humans in thousands of years. And now, we are apes with smartphones. And now we have rocket, missiles, trains, cars, robots, satellites. So, we are now apes with better technology. And now we are learning about the universe, not knowing how to learn.